Hey everybody, Mr. Gamer Guru 13 here. This is my first video on YouTube that I'll be putting out, so bear with me. Uh, I'm going to be doing lots of videos, hopefully. If I have the time, I'm going to be trying to put out as many videos as possible. This is going to be strictly a video game channel that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing collection videos, collections of my systems, of my games. If you have any ideas, let me know. If you want to see something that I might have, let me know. I'm also going to be doing installments of games for less, telling you where you can find games for less at the time, how I find my games for cheap, where I pick them up, and the tricks of the trade of getting your games for cheap at good prices. And I'm also going to be doing video game reviews. After this video, I'm hoping to do a Xenogears review for the PS1. It'll be a retro game review, but I don't have a lot of time, so let's jump right into this PS2 RPG Collection. Here we go. First game, we have Suikoden 3. I have not played it yet. It is incomplete. It does not have the manual, unfortunately. Bought it with Dragon Warrior 7 and Final Fantasy 7, and the other two had the manual, but that one did not. Next game is Radiata Stories. I'm playing this now, so I don't have too much of an opinion on it. It's developed by Tri-Ace. I love Tri-Ace, one of my favorite developers. Published by Square Enix. Now this game is a 2D side-scrolling game so far, and I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to stay for the rest of the game. But it's very fun and looks like it's going to be an in-depth RPG, so I just have to see and find out. Next up we have three games here: Xenosaga 1, Xenosaga 2, and Xenosaga 3. Now this game, I wouldn't say it's as good as Xenogears for the PlayStation 1, but it is a very good game in my opinion. A lot of people think of it as a movie game because there are so many cutscenes. I enjoy the cutscenes personally. I like to get to know my characters that I'm playing as through cutscenes. I would start playing number 1 first because the story can get really confusing. It's a very in-depth story, and if you take your eyes or ears off the story for one moment, you could be very confused and it may not make any sense. But I recommend this game for any fans of the Final Fantasy series, Xenogears, game on the PS1. Awesome series of RPGs. Xenosaga 1, 2, and 3. Next up we have Valkyrie Profile 2 Silmeria. Another Tri-Ace, developed by Tri-Ace, published by Square Enix. Now this is a 2D side-scrolling role-playing game slash platformer, I would consider it, because you get into your dungeons, into your towns, and wherever you are in the game, and you're on a 2D map. You can see your enemies on screen, and you can crystallize them with I think it's a photon beam that you shoot out, and then you can jump on top of them, jump up to different platforms, and the platforming gets pretty difficult towards the end of the game if you want to try and get all of the items and beat it to its completion. But I would definitely recommend this for fans of the RPG genre and if you're looking for something different, a different RPG. Now this is the prequel to Valkyrie Profile 1, so you don't absolutely have to know the story of Valkyrie Profile 1. Plus, that's an extremely hard game to find on the PS1. It's also reprinted on the PSP. But definitely check this out. Pick that up. Valkyrie Profile 2 Silmeria. Next up, Dragon Quest VIII. Great music. Great game. The Dragon Quest and Dragon Warrior games are always pretty much you know what you're buying when you get a Dragon Quest or Dragon Warrior game. Except I think number 9 for the DS, Sentinels of the Starry Skies, did something a little bit different with their battle systems and whatnot. But most of the games before this, simple, down to the basics of a Dragon Quest, Dragon Warrior game. Final Fantasy 12, awesome story, great characters. Final Fantasy X. When this game came out, it was groundbreaking at the time. Came out in 2002, 2001 in Japan, 2002 here. And before this is the first Final Fantasy on the PS2. Final Fantasy 9, 8, and 7 all had the pre-rendered backgrounds, and I'm a big fan of pre-rendered backgrounds. I love the way they make games look. But this changed it all with fully voiced cutscenes and a completely 3D environment. Awesome, awesome game. Pick it up if you haven't played it. Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy X-2, a lot of mixed reviews. Unfortunately, greatest hits version. Bought this before I understood greatest hits and Black Label games, but a lot of mixed reviews on this game. I enjoyed it personally. You may not have, but if you're a fan of Final Fantasy, if you've played Final Fantasy X, this rounds out the storyline and finishes up the game for you. Next up, we have Final Fantasy VII Dirge of Cerberus. This is a third-person shooter / RPG. I found it fun. It wasn't the greatest game out there. I found it fun, and it also, tied up some of the loose ends that were in Final Fantasy VII. Because if you played Final Fantasy VII and understood what was going on, you are a genius. That story was so convoluted, and so I had no idea what was going on half the time in the story. They're introducing Zack. Who is this guy? Well, anyways, some of these Final Fantasy VII games that came out tied up the storylines and tied up all the loose ends. So Final Fantasy VII Dirge of Cerberus, if you're a third-person shooter fan and an RPG fan, definitely pick it up. Dark Cloud, very addictive. Champions of Norrath, published by Sony. This is also set in the EverQuest world. If you're a fan of the MMORPG EverQuest, definitely try this game out. It's got 1 to 4 player co-op, or 2 to 4 player co-op, and I think it has online capabilities. I didn't play it online. I didn't have an online connection at the time. Next games we got here are Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, which is the Game Boy Advanced port, and Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 2 is my favorite out of all these games. Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories is very repetitive. It goes through everything you went through in Kingdom Hearts 1. Now, I love this game for the nostalgia factor. I grew up on Disney videos. I grew up playing Final Fantasy games. So if you like the fact Squaresoft did the first one, Square Enix did the next few games. If you like Disney and you like Final Fantasy, worthy pickup for you. Musashi Samurai Legend, haven't played it. It's got a great art style though, it looks like on the back. Drakengard. I played this, I didn't beat it. It was very hack and slashy and it got very repetitive. There wasn't a whole lot of collectibles to do. Not the greatest game out there, still mindless fun if you want to pick it up, or if you have a Squaresoft / Square Enix collection going. You could probably find it for $5–10 bucks. Next up we have The Bouncer. This was the first PlayStation 2 game developed by Squaresoft, and a very short game. It was, I think, around 5–6 hours. Fans were mad because they thought they were getting a hardcore RPG. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the game. It's more of a beat-em-up RPG, hence the name The Bouncer. You play as a bouncer. So, graphics were great at the time. First game from Squaresoft on the PS2. Next game is Eternal Ring. This was a launch title for the PS2. It's a first-person action RPG. I bought that for $1. I haven't played it yet, and I don't know, bought it for $1. Next game we have Star Ocean Till the End of Time, another Tri-Ace developed game published by Square Enix. The Star Ocean series is one of my favorites. I played Star Ocean 4, The Last Hope on the Xbox 360. It was a great game. This is also a great game, very, very long. And I actually didn't beat that game. I got sidetracked towards 180 hours in. And the last game here we have is Front Mission 4, a tactical role-playing game. Very hard. If you pick up this game, I suggest trying to pick up or find the strategy guide for it. This is extremely hard. I don't think I made it past Mission 10. If you don't upgrade your characters or your Wanzers, which are your mechs that you fight in correctly, you do not stand a chance in some of the battles. So definitely a hard game. I heard this is pretty long. I didn't beat it yet, but it's very fun from the time that I played it. So that is my PlayStation 2 role-playing game collection. It is not the biggest collection in the world. I don't claim it to be, but I just wanted to show you guys my PlayStation 2 RPG collection, and stay tuned for the PS1 retro game review of Xenogears for the PS1, and I'll be putting out more videos here, more collection videos, and hopefully I'll be getting these installments of Games for Less and where to find them. Alright, thanks guys for watching.